give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Right, everyone, welcome to the third episode of the Supercoach Doctor. Now make sure you are following us on Facebook and our blog. The links are right here under the video. Very important to get the up-to-date information on everything that's going on in Supercoach. Today we're going to be going through four teams: Essendon, Fremantle, Geelong and the Gold Coast. We're just going to be going through a few players that you should be looking at over the pre-season as possibilities to put in your Supercoach team. So Chris is going to kick it off with Essendon.
Very good. The Bombers. Okay, here we go. Stanton and Watson to look out for as premiums, of course. You would have known that from last year. Potential. Cremery had a great year last year. Hardingham, Heppel, Hurley after some injury worries, but should be back on it and right to go for round one. Monfries, Myers and Zaharakis is the big one there. Dual position player, Chris. Midfield and forward, and not at a bad price. An average 91 last year and should get more time in the midfield. Value, not too much to look at there. We'll go to the rookies. Elliot Kavanagh, and of course there's a couple of 24-year-olds just drafted into that rookie area that to look out for as the season goes along. On to the Dockers, new coach, so it could be a lot of different players getting mixed up this year. There might be quite a bit of value there. Fife, Mundy, Pavlich and Sandylands, of course, that you'd know about, had big years, and definitely ones to watch there with averages over 100. Potential Broughton, stick him in your defence if you need to, and he'll reward you a little bit of time in the midfield as well. Value, Barlow is a big one everyone's talking about at the moment. Do you wait and see what he comes out with his price, and does it drop or go up, and how does he play? It's going to be the question on everyone's lips. Duffield, Morabito, another two to look out for there, and Lee Spur as a rookie to have a look at.
Righto, it gives me great pleasure to move on to Geelong, the reigning premiers. Isn't that beautiful? Did have the opportunity not too long ago to hold the Premiership Cup. It's an absolute privilege. I loved it. Anyway, on to business. Premiers from Geelong, there's going to be a few, and they're your usual suspects. Jimmy Bartell, Paul Chapman, Corey Enright, a beauty for the back line. Stevie Johnson can rack up some huge scores, so he's worth having. And the new skipper, Joel Selwood, he's an absolute must for a lot of midfielders. He's a great player and will get some big points this year. Now, I've got a few good potentials at Geelong. I think Alan Christensen could have a really big year. He averaged 66 last year, so he could be someone that might give you a bit of value, as might Mitch Duncan, who'll be in his third year this year. Averaged 75 last year, and I reckon he could get up into that high 80s position, so he could be someone that is good for your forward line. Trent West, he averaged 76 last year. Not too bad, but this year he's the number one ruckman down at Geelong. He's going to play, he's going to get a lot more game time. Expect that 76 average to rise pretty quickly. So have a look at his NAB Cup form just to see how he goes. I've got a little bit of a value one here, a little Stokesy, Matthew Stokes in the forward line. He averaged 89 last year, which surprised me. I didn't really realise he averaged 89. So he could get up into the 90s and might be a good one for your forward line. And a couple of rookies to look out for. Geelong are going to play them even though they're a good team. Cameron Guthrie, Billy Smeds and the big Oren Stevenson, who is an absolute must for your ruck. Just put him in there in your ruck, leave him in there and forget about him. Righto, quick costume change. On to the Gold Coast now. They haven't got too many premiums at the Gold Coast, obviously with the lack of experienced players. Gary Ablett, God, money hungry person. And Nathan Bock, probably a couple of obvious.
Hi to Gary if you're watching too, so good pick up. You'll certainly be in my team.
I don't think he'll be in mine. I don't like him. Now, a couple of other good ones that you might be looking at as potential premiums this year. Zach Smith, the big ruckman, had a breakout year in Gold Coast debut year. And David Swallow, average 79. I'm really expecting to push up into that 90-point bracket this year, so have a look at him. Not too many rookies at the Gold Coast this year as opposed to last year, but one to look out for is Josh Caddy. I think he's still around 200 grand, maybe 220 odd grand. Average 58 last year is not a lot, but I really rate him. I think he could be someone to really look at as a bit of a cash cow this year. That's all for the Gold Coast. Righto, that's all we've got for episode 3. We'll have another 4 teams in our next episode. If you haven't got this already, this AFL Prospectus is the Bible. It's where we get all our information. It's really helpful for your Supercoach team this year. That's all we've got time for. But before we go, I hear a big rumour You've been stopped in the street.
I did get stopped in the street getting a coffee this morning in Hyden, down in Geelong there, and unbelievable. The feedback I got was, great information, but...
shame about our heads.
Yeah, shame about... I got a good head for radio, I think he mentioned as well. So,
no. On a video then?
Yeah, we'll have to get on the radio.
We might change it to a podcast.
Yeah, he said he'd never get that 6 minutes back from in his life from his first episode. So that's why we're chopping it down a bit this time.
That's okay. Anyway, we'll see you next
Cheers.
time.
See ya.